Hello everyone, Ashlyn Visa YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about COVID and the symptoms that I got with COVID. So I didn't get the severe COVID that, puts you in the hospital for months or was life-threatening, but I did get COVID and it was a long haul for me. So for those of you who aren't following me and just saw this video, I'm a cancer survivor, so I did not want to get COVID. I wear masks when I go out. I use hand sanitizer. I try to social distance still, even though after it's been 2 years and people aren't really like caring so much about it anymore and they're vaccinated and whatnot, but I still watch out for myself because I do what I need to do for me. So, anyways, sorry, I gotta change positions here. Anyways, I first started out with a tickly thing in my throat. Then I started to cough, I felt a tickle in my throat, and then that made me cough. So I didn't really have a cough, but the tickly thing in my throat made me feel like I needed to cough. So that happened. Then my sinuses got full. You could see it around my eyes and my nose. Like, my nose was so congested, you could literally see like puffiness all around. It was pretty bad. So I contacted a doctor on like an e-visit, and which is like a video call, like me talking to you. And hold on one moment, you guys. Sorry, I had to quiet my son down a little bit. So an e-visit is like a video, like I'm doing this right now, and someone's on the other side, and the doctor asks you questions and you tell them how you're feeling, and then they can obviously like see you and ask you questions and just like assess you on the video call. So she came down to that I had a sinus infection. So I got antibiotics, and as I started taking them, I felt better, like the sinus thing was gone. My sinuses weren't full anymore. I wasn't having a headache because I had a headache too with the sinus. And then I almost felt pretty normal, except for then symptoms started coming back. Like, I got all of a sudden started getting nauseated, and I felt like dizzy sometimes, and I felt like just malice altogether, not feeling good. And then what else happened? I just had like stomach problems, diarrhea, and then that went away, and then I felt like I was like gonna be on the verge of feeling 100% good. Then all of a sudden I got short of breath, and I'm not talking like short of breath like, oh, you're just short of breath, just go sit down and try to put your head between your knees, and or put your arms above your head, and that should ease it a little bit and make breathing easier for you. Take a little puff of your inhaler and you should be fine. It wasn't one of those things, because my inhaler wasn't working. I tried putting my arms above my head, my elbows on my knees and leaning forward. None of that was working. This is kind of the short of the breath where it, like, you couldn't catch your breath. Like, I would breathe in, but when I would go to exhale, that's where it was hard. I felt like I couldn't get all the breath out. So I felt like, then I started kind of hyperventilating, which made things worse. And then it would throw me into a panic attack, which makes your breathing even more worse. So I went to the ER, and I had them check me for pneumonia, because they, doctors and people always say one of the number one times you should go to the ER is when like urgent cares and your doctor can't assess you, or like if you need to be seen right away, go to the ER if you're short of breath. So I was short of breath. Sorry, you guys. Every time I start talking, my son starts babbling and he yells even louder than me. Anyways, so I decided to go to the ER, and they said they would do a chest X-ray on me. And so they did a chest X-ray on me, and lo and behold, there was nothing wrong with my lungs. There was no pneumonia. They listened to my lungs. My lungs sounded clear, so there was nothing they could do. All I could do was just do my inhaler and, sit down if I was getting too winded, because that's another word for it, is I felt like really winded and like I couldn't catch my breath. And then I did a nebulizer treatment. So I'll show you guys what the nebulizer treatment looks like. Some of them may look different, but this is what my insurance company gave me. So here's the machine itself, the tube, and you plug the tube into here, and then this end of the tube you plug into, hold on a second, hold on guys, this end you plug into here, and then you put this lid on like this, and you can open up the flap, which is right here. There's a lid. Like I said, all mouthpieces and things look differently, but you get solution that looks like this, and it's liquid, and you squeeze that into here, and then you take this and you close this, and then there's a button right here where you press power. Now, I don't have it plugged in right now because for obvious reasons, I'm not using it right now. But you always want to make sure that that tube and that mouthpiece are clean and sanitary, so you're not inhaling things that can make it even worse for you to breathe. So I had to do like nebulizer treatments for like almost a week, and I had to use my inhaler way more than I usually do, which like I never really have to use my inhaler, but when my asthma is flaring up, I noticed that within a month, if it's flaring up from allergies or just flaring up, I notice I have to use it maybe like 3 times in a month. But if I'm doing something strenuous, like taking a long walk or doing extra work chores around the house, I have to use it a little more. But with COVID, I had to use it like all the time. Like I had to use it like just all the time. I can't explain it to you guys. So it was horrible. But it could have been a lot worse with the stories that I've read online and the articles that I've read, and stuff like that. So, and it did make me lose my appetite a little bit too, but for me that wasn't a bad thing because I weigh 162 pounds and I'm only 4'11", so I'm considered obese, which as you guys can see, I'm a chubby woman, but I wouldn't call myself obese. I mean, I've had 4 children. I'm a 37-year-old lady. I think I look great, but coming from the doctors and online, I'm considered obese. So, losing my appetite kind of did me better. It did me good, and it wasn't a harmful thing for me. But for those of you who are thinner, yes, you need to watch that if COVID does that to you, because you don't want to lose any more weight if you are, hold on a second. You don't want to lose any more weight if you are, skinnier. So what I did was just try to eat. Hold on, you guys. Sorry. My son again. Woo! He's having one of those days where he just wants to really get under my skin, which moms out there, you know how that goes. Um, what I did with COVID was took Tylenol, ibuprofen. I ate soups and fruits. Um, and I tried to eat meat when I could. I took vitamins. I took an inhaler because I have asthma, anyways. But if you don't have asthma and you don't have an inhaler, talk to your doctor about your shortness of breath if you have it, like I told you guys I had it, and they could give you like a temporary rescue inhaler, and then and a nebulizer treatment for just while you're going through the shortness of breath. And I tried to drink a lot of water, Pedialyte, Gatorade, and stuff like that when I was sick. And I kind of just tried to do my everyday activities that I normally did, like cleaning my house, doing laundry, doing dishes, and going to like being outdoors but staying away from people so they didn't get it. Just sitting out on my porch is what I mean, and stuff like that to get fresh air. Um, and then, of course, isolated so I didn't get anybody else sick. But it was a long haul, so I don't want to get that again. If I can help it, I don't want to get that again. Because I'd say that other than the shortness of breath, like if I never got shortness of breath, that to me was kind of like just a little flu. The one I got. I'm not minimizing what that virus can do, but the one I got, to me, it was kind of like just a little tiny flu. But the shortness of breath was scary. That was very, 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 very scary. So, um, yeah, don't mess around with shortness of breath. If you guys get it, who cares if the ER people are annoyed with you? It's better to be safe than sorry, and make sure your lungs are clear, because in my opinion, I am not a doctor. I have no medical license. This is just my opinion, but I think that a lot of people were passing away a couple years ago and getting close to death was because they weren't going in when they were getting really short of breath and like they should have, and they didn't like you know realize it or pay attention to their body, that they weren't being able to breathe as good as they could have before, and were probably ending up with pneumonias, because pneumonia is really weird. You can have pneumonia and not even know you have one, because when you have one you can just feel a little winded, um, but it's when you start moving around. If you can't walk for just a yard, like if you can't walk a yard stick from one couch to another couch, and you get short of breath from that, that is something, that is a reason to go to the hospital for breathing, or just any kind of shortness of breath. Do not mess around with it. I feel, in my opinion, that is why people were going um, and dying. But well, along with having underlying medical health conditions, kind of like me, like being a cancer survivor or an elderly person. But that's just my opinion. So take it easy, you guys. I would try to mask up, and I would still use hand sanitizer, and I would still be careful, because regardless of how everybody's pretending this is just all gone now and all okay, it's still spreading out there. And it's spreading more because people are not thinking that um, you can get it anymore. And me and my sister were talking the other night, and monkeypox is going around supposedly, and the cases in Illinois, cases in California. I've seen this on articles. So just I mean, do the simple stuff. Wash your hands, good hygiene, kind of stay away from people. Handshaking, I wouldn't really do. Hugging, yeah, but kind of keep your head away. Wearing mask, when you really do need to, things like that. Anyways, just wanted to share my experience with COVID, and I will be on with another life topic.